morning, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with another Hearthstone Arena run. I've got a daily quest to win some games with Shaman. I just played as a mage, and I don't really want to play Warrior until they get fixed. I don't want to get too used to the broken cards they've got. So let's go ahead and play Shaman. Have not actually played Shaman since the patch, and in my opinion, the nerf to the healing totem that Shamans have, where now it no longer heals the hero, it only heals minions, I think is actually huge, having played against Shamans. I think that that is actually on par with the brutality of the rogue hero ability nerf. Hasn't been getting as much press though, but I think it's really, really huge. And if you play Shaman, you should expect to lose some games because of it. With that said, the Shaman is still fun. They have gabs of removal, fire elementals, storm-forged axes, and lots of cool stuff. So I really did like this class. It was my best class before the patch. I had a 50% win rate with it. Now, since the patch, I've been doing really well. My win rate is almost 60%. And it is that way with several classes, so 50% isn't even that exciting, but still, I do miss the classes. I'm really excited to play with them again. Okay, so we have Garbage, and Global Removal, which is unlikely to be had because it is rare, and I'm super happy to pick up here. Alright, we have little Chumper Nuggets and a Rockbiter Weapon. Don't dismiss this. This is essentially a kind of lightning bolt that your hero has to take damage for because you have to attack the creature directly. You can also put it on a creature if you wish to save yourself from the damage, and it doesn't have any overload, so I would say this is top tier removal, the Rockbiter Weapon. Don't pass those up. Ooh, tough call here. So I've got the Unbound Elemental or the Scarlet Crusader. Now there are plenty of overload cards, so the Unbound Elemental, just if you play one overload card, becomes a 3/5 for 3 mana, which is pretty spectacular. But you know what, honestly, I think I'd rather go for something that's not quite so situational and pick up Scarlet Crusader. Really, really strong card. Frequently, it's a big headache for your opponents, even if you don't realize it during the game. Oftentimes, you are making your opponents play things in a different way than they would have liked to, in order to avoid having this 2-for-1 against them. Alright, well here we have a top tier 4-mana creature, the Dark Iron Dwarf. Super excited about this. Wind Fury plus Rockbiter Weapon is a combo. It can make this guy swing for 10 damage. That's cute, but this is a really nice buffer, and it's a 4/4 body for 4, so I'm really happy to see that there. Oh my gosh, you know what? I've been complaining in my last few arenas about getting trash rares, but man, Lava Burst is one of the best rares out there. 5 damage for 3 mana, yes please. You all saw the ending to my mage video. That bastard Shaman had a couple of Lava Bursts and burned me out as I was about to kill him, so we're happy to return some favors there. 2 Dark Iron Dwarfs over this trash, yes please. Okay, so far this has been a really good draft with like really easy picks. Let's see if that continues. Aha! So here we have a bit of a tough call here. I've seen people play Ancestral Healing. Now let me tell you something. It's a 0 mana spell. I'm typically very suspicious of them except for, of course, Backstab. But like the Priest's Silence, for example, I was like, it doesn't look that good. Got blown out by it. I started playing with it, found that it was great. Ancestral Healing, never in my life have I been like, oh my god, that was so great! He healed it and gave it ton. It just has never been impressive. Let's go ahead and take the Darkscale Healer. It's nice to have a source of incidental healing in your deck. War Golem is endgame, but it's bad. I'm holding out hope for the Fire Elementals, the Boulder Fist Ogres, and the Stormwind Champions. So we're going to take this healer and be happy about it. A 3rd Dark Iron Dwarf? That's a little bit greedy. Let's take the Ooze here to make sure that, first of all, the Dark Iron Dwarves have things to pump. Currently, they don't. And I have been out against weapons in this weapon-heavy metagame. Oh my god! Wow! This has been the draft of all high-quality rares. I mean, these are all fantastic cards. I don't even know what's best. I mean, the Cobra's very good. Makes it really difficult for your opponent to play around things. You know, I think it's just got to be the Lava Burst here, man. I mean, Lightning Storm is definitely great. The damage it deals is a bit limiting. Obviously, if you can pull a Spell Power Totem, make it 3/4, that's really strong. It's, I mean, almost as good as a Flame Strike, but for less mana. But I think Lava Burst is a little bit more versatile, more useful more often. We're going to go ahead and grab it right there. Okay, well, the quality rares continued. These guys are, of course, trash, but the Azure Drake is top tier. We're going to go ahead and pick that up. Flamezone Totem, one of my favorite cards. Like, I misplayed against the Shaman yesterday, and it contributed to my loss. Flame Tongue allows you to, on turn 1 if you're second, coin Totem, and then play the Flame Tongue Totem after it, and then swing in with your buffed-up Totem. So really happy to have that in there. These are all good creatures. Man, I'm getting lots of good cards in this draft. I'm a little bit heavy on 3-drops, which makes me leery of picking the Wolf Rider. We're going to go ahead and, I mean, how many 3-drops do we really have? 1. I mean, these are removal spells. Yeah, these are removal spells. Let's actually get an actual 3-drop here. So this guy is more useful for removal than as an actual put it on the board type 3-drop. This, however, can be really nice, especially because you have totems that will often be dying. Let's actually grab the solid flesh-eating ghoul. That seems good. Alright, so this is another quality pack. I really don't want a third Dark Iron Dwarf. Well, hang on. I mean, as a Shaman, Dark Iron Dwarves are really good because you can always buff your totems. But I'm not actually going to pick Earthshock. If this were Frostshock, I would take the Dark Iron Dwarf. But since this is Earthshock, having a silence in your deck is really good. The 1 damage can be nice. Earthshock kills Scarlet Crusaders and Twilight Drakes instantly. So it's nice to have one of these. It's nice to have a silence. So I'm sad to pass on another Dark Iron Dwarf. Okay, well, here we're going to go ahead and pick up the Dragonling mechanic. Yes, this owl is here, but I already have a silence. Totemic Might is just terrible, and this guy puts a lot of stuff on the board, which is pretty nice. Alright, well, this is a bit of a tricky situation here. Do I want another Dragonling mechanic? I mean, I guess I do have 2 Dark Iron Dwarves and a Flame Tongue Totem, so having stuff to buff is pretty nice. I don't want this guy. He's not a very good taunt creature. We'll pick up another mechanic here. Alright, so tough call here between the Silencer and the Bloodlust. Let's make sure we get a Bloodlust in here. It's sad to pass on the Silence, but I already have a Silence. I did pick up the Earthshock. Don't need too many of them. And Bloodlust is a card that it's nice to have. Core Hound is garbage. Don't worry about it. Hex! Always a good card to pick up. Totemic Might. Alright, here we're starting to get into some junk. Let's take this guy here. Yes, I'm passing on a Taunter, but, you know, I'm a Shaman. I've got totems that can taunt, and this guy is pretty nice. It's a little bit resilient, and I don't currently have much to play on turn 2. Let's make sure we have a bit of an early game there. Ooh, tough call here between the Flame Tongue Totem and the Imani Berserker. The Imani Berserker is the best 2-drop in the game, but the Flame Tongue Totem can be very annoying. It's a tough call here. I'm going to take the Berserker. It'd be nice to be able to play something down. Problem with Flame Tongue Totem is you don't want to play it down and have it be naked. This guy, though, you can just play him onto an empty board and feel like you're on top of the world. Alright, well, Pint-Sized Summoner is pretty easy. Injured Blade Master, not to be discounted here. He's a good mint combo with the Healing Totem, because the Healing Totem will heal back the damage that he deals to himself, and you've got a 4/4 for 3 mana, which is kind of sweet. But Pint-Sized Summoner wins games. Let's go ahead and grab it. Main problem here, I haven't seen any late game stuff. So the spell damage is nice, but not as nice as card draw. We're going to grab that. I really need some 6-mana creatures. I haven't seen anything at all. Okay, there we go. There we go. This is a good Ender. A few more would be nice. Ah, man, not seeing it here. All right, we'll take, I think, Questing Adventurer for some endgame potential. Oh, this is all trash. Well, we'll take another Ooze for another Out Against Weapons. Oh, Fire Elemental. My love. My love. Nom, 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 nom. Come here, Snookums. There we go. Boy, another Earthshock, perhaps? No, let's take the Harvest Golem. Ogre Mega is okay. It's a bit expensive. Spell damage, you really want to be able to play it and, play a spell right away, so this makes it tricky. Harvest Golem stands up well against Flame Strikes and against Shadow Word Pains and against weapons. It's just a nice thing to have in your deck. Can I please get some late game stuff? Nope. Okay, we're going to get spell damage, so the point with this guy is not actually to play it on turn 2, but to play it at the same time as a Lava Burst or my Lightning Storm or my Earthshock. So it's kind of like a surprise bonus damage. Oh god. Well, this is tricky. So, Dark Iron Dwarf seems the best given my mana curve, but I have to consider Lord of the Arena here. I don't like Lord of the Arena, but I mean, I am missing late game stuff. He's a 6/5 instead of a 4/4. He has a taunt instead of this. I mean, I currently have no taunt except for taunt totems. Oh man, this just doesn't seem right. I'm going to take another Dark Iron Dwarf. I've got 2 Dragonling mechanics. I've got my totems. I've got things to buff with these. We're gonna pick it up. Well, I don't really want Loot Hoarder. I really need as much late game as I can, since I'm not seeing any heavy creatures. The Ravenholt Assassin is and the Fire Elemental were like literally the only big endgame creatures I saw. I want to pick as heavy stuff as possible. So this guy's a 3. They're both 3/3s for 4. This guy's Divine Shield, so he's a bit annoying to deal with. This guy can give something Wind Fury, which might not be that good in my deck simply because I don't have that much big stuff. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take the Divine Shielder. And, well, this is actually perfect. So, I'm not going to take fucking Millhouse. The Beast is a tricky one. I mean, the drawback can be irritating, but I actually played against the Beast a couple of times, and the Death Rattle wasn't that good for me. My opponent getting a 9/7 for 6 mana was definitely the big problem. Now, Maligos is a powerhouse here with the spell damage. Spell damage we'll have is kind of severe. I mean, it turns my humble Earthshock into a 6 damage for 1 mana type affair. So it's worth considering this. It also doesn't die very easily, but it is more expensive. Let's go ahead and take the 6 mana guy. I mean, he's a 6 mana, but the stats are easily like a 7 mana creature or even an 8 mana creature should be. And we'll deal with the Death Rattle as it comes up. I mean, we'll deal with it. So yeah, how do I feel about this deck? I feel like it is lacking for late game, but You know what? For once in my life, I'm actually not going to complain about the draft. I think that was a perfectly fine draft. I mean, we saw really good rares, really good creatures. I mean, so many Dark Iron Dwarfs. I've had many drafts go by without a single Dark Iron Dwarf, and here we saw like 5 of them, and I took 3. Let's take a sip of good luck water here. Playing against a hunter makes me really sad the healing totem doesn't heal me anymore. It's really, really sad. Alright, do you want to mulligan any of this stuff? No, this actually seems fine. We'll play the Pint-Sized Summoner on turn 2, and then on turn 3, if it dies, we'll play the Fairy Dragon. If it doesn't die, we'll play the Silver Moon Guardian a little bit early, and that'll be fine. Lightning Storm actually could be really good against hunters. When they lay out their board of buzzards and hyenas and whatnot, it's nice to just be able to kill them all at once and stop the madness from happening. Alright, the Knife Juggler is a bit of a pain, so I don't want to play this Pint-Sized Summoner. Or do I? If I play the Pint-Sized Summoner, here's the thing. My opponent might not want to trade the Knife Juggler into it. But you know what? Honestly, I think the odds of that are really small. The odds that my opponent actually wouldn't kill the Pint-Sized Summoner there are tiny. So yeah, we're just going to play this and try to trade into his Knife Juggler. This is a bit tricky to kill. It can't die to hero powers. So, it's a little bit difficult for my opponent to get rid of. And here we see a little bit of an issue. My opponent's got this hyena down. This could be a problem. I could use Lightning Storm here. That would overload me next turn. I would only have 2 mana left, so I could only play the Pint-Sized Summoner. But I would get a 2-for-1 out of it. I'd kill this hyena before it had a chance to cause trouble. What are my alternative plans? Well, I could just trade, kill off the Knife Juggler, play the Pint-Sized Summoner, see if he'll trade his hyena into my Pint-Sized Summoner. Is there any way he could play a beast, have it die? Maybe. You know what? Let's see if I'm just gonna do this. It's 2-for-1. I could perhaps have gotten more out of it, that's sure. That's true. It's very true. But it does keep me with a 3-2 on the board, gives me an aggressive start, stops him from dealing more damage to me. Saving damage is more important than ever now with Shamans, with the healing totem being nerfed, and when you're up against a hunter. So, seems fine. Seems totally fine. Let's just go ahead and call it a day. Alright, so the Pint-Sized Summoner is a bit unpalatable here because his 1-drop can just trade into it, which is a bit sad. I could play this, but then if he plays a weapon later, I'll regret it. Then again, Hunter's weapons are rare and epic, so it's not super likely. If I play the Pint-Sized Summoner, it's definitely gonna get killed. Of course, the Pint-Sized Summoner's utility is kind of passing. Alright, we're gonna just swing, and I do have another ooze back here, I think, so we're gonna just play this. Hope if he does play one of his rare weapons, I will draw one of my rare oozes, and that should be okay. If he has multi-shot here, that would be incredibly good for him, and he does. There's really no way for me to play around it, because I was overloaded, so I couldn't play the Harvest Golem. Alright, Dark Iron Dwarves. Clogging me up a little bit here. Let's just go ahead and play this guy down. I don't want to play this and the Pint-Sized because the 2-1 could just trade into the Pint-Sized. Maybe I should have played Harvest Golem and a Totem. Start the Totem party going. This could be in trouble. This could definitely be trouble here. Oh, he got the Charger. Shit. Is he actually going to double trade? No, he's going to go past me. Of course he is. So he's trying to just rush me down here. He's got lots of cards still. So, yeah, I could definitely be in trouble. Let's see. Yeah, well, first of all, we have to kill this. We just have to. The Pint-Sized Summoner is actually not irrelevant here. So we're going to play it. I'm also going to play the Scarlet Crusader. So that it's harder for him to put things down without having them promptly die. Now, I still have all my removal in here. I've got Hex, I've got Lava Bursts and stuff. This guy. Okay, well, that's actually not the end of the world. Because what I can do is do this. Pump that up. Play this guy for full price. Pump it up some more. And then kill it. So the Pint-Sized Summoner was really relevant here. These guys normally cost 8 mana total. With the Pint-Sized Summoner, they only cost 7, and that allowed me to play them both. The Bloodlust actually is timely here. If he doesn't kill my stuff, he loses. I mean, I've got 11, 15, 17 damage, so Bloodlust easily carries me over the top. He's going to need a couple of answers here. Explosive Shot would be really good if he has it. Explosive Trap, excuse me. Explosive Shot would be okay. He could kill 2 of my creatures with Explosive Shot. That is pretty solid. He takes out 1 of my creatures. I believe he's still dead, unless he plays a Taunter with that 3 mana. Oh, he's steady shotting. Is this over? Let's see. 8, 10, 10 plus 9. Oh, 10 plus 9 is not quite enough. 10 plus 9. It's 19 damage, just a little shy. I mean, I could just do it anyway. I could just do it anyway. Let me think about that. If I just do it anyway, I get him down to 3 health. I mean, he's in serious ass trouble there. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll play Bloodlust here. Get the damage on. You don't always want to just Bloodlust for the kill. I mean, sometimes Bloodlust for the pressure is totally fine. Let's go ahead and play a Harvest Golem. Here. And now he's in serious trouble. So, Hunters can actually deal 14 damage from an empty board. It is absolutely possible with Unleash the Hounds. So, he could just kill me here. It looks like this is not a beast, so he's not actually... Alright, that was it. As always, we're going to do just a couple of games, or 3, to kick things off. And then, if you're enjoying how the arena's running, the rest of the matches will be shown in a later video. That was a pretty quick game. I'm really happy to beat a Hunter. Hunters are trouble. So let's do one more game in this run. Perhaps we'll do 2 more. I don't know. Probably just 1 more. See how it goes, and hope we can keep on going. Now, that time, I don't think I made a single totem. I just played creatures all the way. Part of the reason for that is that I didn't have any removal spells, so I didn't have anything to sit on while I waited for my opponent to do. I just played my stuff out. And he got me pretty close. He could have definitely won if he had the right cards. I was lucky he did not, and that was the game. So yeah, I'm really happy about my Lightning Storm. I think that was the right move to kill his 2 creatures while I had the chance. Because if he dealt damage with that Knife Juggler and that Hyena, it could have been trouble. Okay, this is a bit of a tricky situation. What I'm actually going to do is keep the Dark Iron Dwarf to pump my totems. I'm going to send the Beast back. If I were second, I might keep the Beast just to make sure I got my late game stuff, but I want to have stuff to play. The reason I kept the Dark Iron Dwarf is, you know, worst case scenario, I can still maybe buff a totem with it. Alright, I'm up against the Druid, which is actually nice because it means I can play my Ooze on turn 2 without any qualms. I know that Druids have no weapons. Alright, looks like he doesn't have a turn 1 play either. That's fantastic. Let's go ahead and play this thing. So let's see how slow his start is. I mean, if he doesn't play anything, I might even play the Questing Adventurer and be like, hey, do you got the removal, buddy, or do you not? Because if you don't, you're screwed. Well, not screwed, it just becomes a 3-3. So I guess it'll take a couple of turns for him to be actually screwed. Alright, he's got to play, he's got the coin. What's it going to be? Imp Master, okay. Fair enough. Well, it's a bit of a tricky situation here. If I play the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, I can swing into the Imp Master, but it won't die for a little while yet. And then his Imp is going to be able to finish off my Ooze. In fact, his hero ability will be able to finish me off. If I played the Flesh-Eating Ghoul and killed the Imp, my Flesh-Eating Ghoul gets pumped up right away, but the Imp Master is big. Then he'll have to use hero ability. That's 2/3 of his mana. Yeah, we're going to do this. Okay, so here's my plan. I'm going to play this. I'm going to kill the Imp to buff the Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Pass the turn. Now, my opponent can kill the Ooze by hero ability and attack, but he's already spent his coin, and that would cost 2/3 of his mana, so I'm okay with that. If he doesn't do that, then I can kill off his Imp Master with my guy. Now, the Flesh-Eating Ghoul just did get silenced, so that's the end of that. This is just going to be a humble 2-3. Pretty good use of the owl right there. Alright, he's going to finish off my Ooze with the Imp Master. Hard to say if that's correct or not. I mean, all that does is it means he's left with this Imp situation. Okay, well, there's the Azure Drake for the future. Let's go ahead and do the following. If I play the Questing Adventurer, I can kill the Owl, but then the Imp plus hero ability will kill my Questing Adventurer. So maybe that's not the best play, but what am I doing otherwise? Well, I could play the Dark Iron Dwarf, buff this, but it's irrelevant. But I can swing at the face, maybe? So I have a 4-3 and a 4-4. Versus a 2-1 and a 1-1. He could trade them both in. And then I still left with a 4-4. Then I've got the Azure Drake next turn. Let me think about that. Lightning Storm is a bit overkill here. I don't have enough mana to totem and something else. Yeah, let's use up most of my mana. Let's just make the play that uses my mana. So that next turn, perhaps, I can totem Questing Adventurer, or Azure Drake, or totem Light Lava Burst. Just kind of depends on what my opponent does. Now, he's spent his coin, so I should be alright. I don't think anything too scary can happen here. Direwolf Alpha, that's pretty solid. So now, just the Owl by itself will kill my Flesh-Eating Ghoul. And this Imp is probably going to hit me, actually. Oh, he has more stuff. Oh my gosh, the buffs. Jesus, that was quite perfect. I've got to give my opponent credit. That was very solid. And of course, now my Cult Master comes up. Well, this is a little bit awkward here. It's not quite worth lightning storming this stuff yet. I guess we're just going to play Azure Drake and draw a card. Sad as it is, he's probably just going to drop his Abusive Sergeant in plus hero ability to finish this off, or this plus like a Wrath or Moonfire or something. Man, he had a really good answer that turn. 4 mana, he had the Wolf plus this. See, this is why buffs are so strong. And of course my Cult Master arrived right after everything of mine died. Oh man, I should have used my Flesh-Eating Ghoul and rutted into that owl when I had the chance. I should have played around the buffs, I guess. It was a lesson for the future, I suppose. Okay, let's see what he's got here for his 5 mana. He's got a fistful of cards, so do I, but he has an extra creature on the board. My creature is bigger, but he can easily kill it. It's anyone's game. He's going to go for the taunt. Interesting choice. I would have just taken the charger and killed my Drake here, personally. Alright. Well, let's think. Lava Burst deals 6 damage, but it overloads me, but I don't really care about overload. If I hex this, it has taunt. I would then have to attack into it. Lightning Storm is 3 to 4 damage. Not significant enough. Alright, I think what we want to do actually is play the Questing Adventurer here. I'm just going to outright kill this thing here. And then I'm going to kill the Wolf with my Drake. So this guy's back down to a 2-1. He can kill my Questing Adventurer pretty easily, like Abusive Sergeant plus hero ability, but then he's not killing my Drake with the Abusive Sergeant. And if he doesn't have other removal spells right now, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Of course, if he has removal like a Wrath, he's in great shape. But if he doesn't, then my Questing Adventurer starts to grow, or I can play the Cult Master and sacrifice my Drake into whatever he plays. Alright, looks like he's going to spend his mana to quest to Chillwind Yeti. And now he has to decide, assuming he doesn't have a Wrath, does he trade this guy in for the Azure Drake and take his chances, or kill the Questing Adventurer? Smart move, killing the Questing Adventurer. You want to kill that before things get out of hand, especially because my Azure Drake doesn't quite actually kill the Chillwind Yeti, which is rather sad and embarrassing. Oh man, this is such a good card right here. Ugh. Bloodlust. I don't think that's applicable at the moment. I can't play a Totem and Cult Master. If I get a Totem that's Taunt, that's really great, but if it's not Taunt, that sucks. Oh, shit. I hate doing this, but I think I actually have to hex this thing. If I Cult Master and swing in, this will get down to 1 health. I'll draw a card, but then my Cult Master is just going to die to the Yeti after that. Yeah, I think this is the right move. It sucks, but I don't think there's anything better, and I'm going to just kill it. I want to get rid of all of his creatures. Let's play the Pint-Sized Summoner. It might be relevant for helping me get the Cult Master into play next turn. We'll see. Starfall would kill both my creatures at the moment. I'm not sure he'd play a Starfall just for killing 2 creatures, though. Since it is a rare card, he might hold out. Probably the correct play, if he has it, though, is just to use it. Alright, this Druid, I had a good start, but on that key 4th turn where he had the Wolf and the Abusive Sergeant, he really clambered back into things. This is the card he just... Oh my god, that was the card he just top-decked. Fuck me! Ugh! He had it. And he played it. Well, props to him for playing it. It was definitely the right move. Now my hand is just terrible. I've got nothing to do with this stuff. And I'm just losing. Well, we have an equal number of cards. That does nothing. All things considered, my hero ability is probably better than his, because all he does is gain life and deal a point of damage, whereas I can actually put things onto the board that might have a use. But, man alive, that Starfall was a frustration. Alright, next turn I might actually just Bloodlust and throw this Stoneclaw Totem into something to get to draw a card. I really need some cards. That is tricky. This would deal 3 damage to him, leaving him at 3 health. Earthshock would not finish him off. Alright. Well, let's actually go ahead and just flip a totem. If I get a healing totem, he can't get past this. He'd have to swing his guy into it. So let's see if I can get a healer. I did not get a healing totem. Shucks. So next turn, he can hero ability, finish off my totem, and then kill my Cult Master with his guy, which is very, very sad. I don't ever get to draw any cards off of it that way. Alright, well, what we're going to do is play Bloodlust then. This is not ideal, but I do want to draw a card. Dragon Thing Mechanic, huh? And I'm actually going to swing past my opponent. The reason I'm doing this is I want him to have to choose what he does with this guy. Because right now, his minions are expensive. So if he keeps this guy alive and hits me, fine, he can't play that many more minions. If he kills my Cult Master with this guy, fine, but then his big giant is dead. The correct move is probably to kill my Cult Master unless he has another way to kill it with his cards. Alright, there's the Azure Drake for all of his mana. Looks like he's planning to keep this guy alive, otherwise I don't see why he would have played the Azure Drake like that, unless he's holding a Moonfire to kill my Cult Master with. I think that might have been a mistake. So he killed my Cult Master, but then spent 3 extra mana for the Azure Drake. Poor guy. Alright, so, let's go ahead and think. If I play this and Earth Shock, this would go down to 2 health, which is not significant at all. If I could, of course, just trade both my guys into it, that's fine. Looks like I'm going to be making a totem this turn, so let's just flip it, see what I get. Spell power. So I can deal 2 damage to this. Ah-ha! Okay, well now this makes sense. Let's deal 3 damage to that thing with Earth Shock. Use my little taunter to finish it off. Swing at his face. Play this. Alright, basically my main problem now is if he has another Starfall, which is unlikely because it is a rare card. Everything but the Dragonling mechanic would die. This is good against lots of little stuff, but it's actually not that great against big stuff. Although at the moment, just because I have so much spell power with the Totem and my Kobold, it does deal 4 to 5 damage. So in a pinch, I could use it to desperation kill something. I've got 3, 5, 7, 9 damage, which is more than half of his health. So I'm putting a fair bit of pressure on him here. But he does have 6 cards, and I've already used my Hex. So I could be in serious ass trouble here. Let's see what he's got for me. Cult Master. Well, this is actually a bit of a desperation move. Unless he has something that charges, he can't use this very well. Uh-oh. Ah, he was playing it to get the spell power, so he's got a lot of spell power. He's got +3. Holy shit on a pony. Alright, well, we have a couple options here. I can actually just Lightning Storm kill all this stuff. This has a 50-50 chance of living. Can I kill him? I mean, Dark Iron Dwarf, buff something. I can deal 5, 7, 9, 11 damage. I can't quite kill him. But I have enough mana to totem this and this. So let's just see what we got, first of all. Healing Totem, good. That might affect what I do. How do I want to kill this guy? Well, actually, let's Lightning Storm first to see if his Archmage dies, or Ancient Mage dies. It dies. Well, the Dark Iron Dwarf survives against Starfall, so I'm actually going to go ahead and play it. Put it on my most resilient creature. And swing. Squash some vegetables, pass the turn. Well, my opponent's in a bit of trouble here. My computer is lagging like crazy. Let me close some programs. Ba-boink. Ba-boink. Alright, back to Hearthstone. Ah, so much better now. Okay, let's see what my opponent can do here. He's going to need, you know, a lot of death and a lot of taunt. Maybe a Defender of Argus. Does he have a Defender of Argus to swing in here? Oh my god, if he has oh, there's the Defender of Argus! He had it. He had it. Alright, well played, sir. Well, let's see if I can just charge on past. Let's see, this doesn't help. I can't even play it because my board's full. So I can do this and this, and I can get that guy out of the way. I can do this to get that guy out of the way. Yeah, I got 6 damage left over. It's over. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, but the fat lady has sung. Alright, that was a good start to our run with the Shaman. Played against Harrow the Druid. That's a very appropriate Druid name. If you enjoyed the video, please like and or subscribe. And if you're enjoying how the arena is running, well then check back soon. The rest of the games are going to be coming online shortly. Yeah!